Not all kingdoms fall in war. Some dissolve in whispers when truth outlives the throne. Pluto doesn't ask permission. He detonates what you protected to reveal what you abandoned. Mars says fight. Pluto says transform. Together, they say die to who you were or board in denial. This is not the death of your identity. This is the cremation of your custom. Because you were born not to be like, but you were born to be true. You have to burn the performance right now. And you know what? Let the world misunderstand you. Clarity is for those who earned your silence. All right, guys, we going to talk about today the last Pluto and Mars opposition. And actually, it's going to happen it started in Cancer and Capricorn last year. And then it's continued in January again before Mars dropped back to Cancer, right? In Leo and Aquarius, and right now the third one gonna happen in Leo and Aquarius again in 3 degrees. And we're going to also talk about Hekate and karma, asteroid karma, and all the asteroids which is actually involved in this. And during this time, actually, the sun went to Taurus, and it will create a T-square with the sun as well. So the Pluto-Sun opposition, creating a T-square with the ruler of Leo, where Mars is actually transiting and traveling. So a kingdom will fall, not because of rebellion, but because it forget to listen its ghost. The new leaders won't have crowns, they will have scars and clear eyes. The collapse not gonna be chaos necessarily, it's going to be correction. All right. And you have to know history repeats itself until someone breaks the mirror and names the curse. All right, guys, let's see what's going to happen. So, you know what, because we're going to talk about the keywords. First of all, I forgot to say, but if you're new to my channel, this is Cosmic Insight Astrology, and I am your co-pilot, Christina. Usually I say, I am your co-pilot because I don't want to own your power. I want to be helping and navigating you through any kind of challenges or any kind of difficulties, but you must understand the power is in your hand. It doesn't belong, your power doesn't belong from anybody's hand. All right, so if you're new to my channel, then I'm doing whole sign Western astrology, all right? And I do a lot of mundane collective readings as well because I'm truly into helping the collective and, in history and politics and mythology. So with me, you are also learning a little bit every single time about astrology, about, I keep repeating what the aspect going to reveal and what does it signify in astrology, how can you interpret. And if you would like to and give me a try, please subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. Please share it on social media. If you are actually on social media, on Facebook or anywhere, Instagram, and in a part of astrology group where they allow actually showing something with new videos, please share that with the audience. On the other hand, yes, yesterday we were talking about the Pope, right? Because I predicted 3 years ago he will pass in 2025 between April and May. The connection for me not necessarily was Saturn North Node, which is also North Node, that is the Akashic record, that is also the universal law, and actually it's an outlet for us to connect with the divine, and Saturn is an older leader. And in Pisces, obviously, it's something spiritual. I mentioned that also either it could end the Popismus forever, or it's going to change the structure of the Popismus, a papacy. And what I mentioned by that, maybe it's going to be collide with other religion, or it's going to actually, like wash and dissolve boundaries between religions. So we will see. But it's going to be something very unusual with this new papacy, or if it's anyway gonna happen, like something what never happened before. All right. And then we already know the third one who they want to, elect. It could be a black guy from, I think, from Africa. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. I didn't check everything. But the fifth one, which you have to know about, it is a Hungarian bishop whose grandfather actually was a rabbi. So very interesting, right? So we will see what's gonna happen with dissolving religions, or make it just one religion somehow. Okay, we will see, but I know Saturn over here until 2026 in Pisces, it will create some kind of religious, I'm not necessarily saying religious war, it is also that, but also the Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries already this year, it could actually implement that as well. But right now, we're going to talk about Pluto and Mars opposition and the T-square over here, which is going to happen April 26th overnight. It's going to be April 27th. And actually, because it was free opposition, I expect actually three big leaders' death. And we're going to talk about that why, right? So, all right. And it's going to happen in early degrees. So you're going to really feel the Leo and the Aquarian energy over there, right? So what is Leo? Leo is the king and the leader, and Aquarius is humanity, right? So humanity against the leader and the king. That's it. So that is very, very important. And the T square is in fixed sign because of, Sun also, it's in Taurus. And those are anything to do with Aquarius, Taurus, and Leo, and also Scorpio as well. They fixed sign. So very hard to accept changes over there. So what's going to happen over here? Rage against power, ego war, and ego war against the collective power, as I said, uh, and climax of personal will, and with the systemic transformation, against with systemic transformation, and the kingdom will fall. All right, and it's not just poetic, a whole entire empire can fall right now. And, I always talk about the archetypes over here, guys, and we're going to talk about Leo and Aquarius archetypes. So Leo actually rules the heart. It rules creativity, royalty, dramatic power, anything to do with athletic skills, also because it's in the fifth house, joy and creativity, right? And it's ruled by the sun, which hot and dry planet, right? And the archetype of the Leo is the king or the queen, the performer, the noble child, for example. Also, if you have any planet up to 10 degrees in fixed stars, you will be really affected by this, all right? And some Sagittarius people, or some Aries people up to 10 degrees, it's going to trine the Leonian energy, so they might going to have it easier than the fixed signs over here. All right, let me see what's Aquarius, and let's bring in the Aquarian archetype here in this video. So what is Aquarius? It rules the 11th house, guys. 11th house, anything to do with collective system, revolution, rebellion, because it's ruled by Uranus and Saturn. It's Chorus with Saturn. Saturn was the old avatar of Aquarius. And anything to do with, like also money from your career as well. And the archetype is the rebel, the visionary, but also the prophet as well, and the outsider. For example, the weirdo, the outsider, but Saturnian energy, it's the wisdom, the courage, but also brings in something with for example, with fears as well, fear monitoring and death, because Saturn itself was the old traditional ruler of death before they found Pluto, right? So we have to check where is Saturn. Saturn is actually traveling in Pisces, so right, that is the first, that over there, the Pope. Uranus is traveling, the modern ruler in Taurus, right? So the energy, so not by degree, but by energy, it's squaring with the Uranian energy, right? It's squaring with the ruler of Aquarius. And then the archetype, we were talking about the archetype over here. So, all right, let's see what else. The Leo ruled by the sun, and right now the sun is creating a T square. So the apex point of the T square is the sun right now. So what does it mean? This is about actually centralized ego collapsing under the way of the collective evolution. A false king gets actually dishonored. It could be like a performer loses their spotlight. A leader could get replaced, right? And also, don't forget about that Saturn Jupiter square. It's still squaring right now. I mean, it's not exact because Saturn is way ahead in degrees, but it's still a square. And Saturn Jupiter square is actually father will be overthrown by a sun, right? So that's also could be expected during this Mars Pluto opposition because of Saturn also rules Aquarius. So we always have to check where is the ruler we are talking about, all right? And then we're going to talk about asteroids as well. I love asteroids. I'm crazy for fixed stars and asteroids. Or actually, I'm like totally nuts with astrology. I just love it. I don't feel like it's a work. I can talk 10 hours without going to the restroom or drink or whatever, I can talk 10 hours. All right, so we're going to talk about Sethos actually. And actually, Sethos is the asteroid 5254, so 5254. And it was named after a pharaoh, Seti. So, it is symbol of ancient dynasty and masculine authority and military rulership, right? And right now it's in Leo, early degree Leo, very end of the 0 degree. So it is actually going to give an influence on Mars Pluto opposition. It is conjunct with Mars and it's opposing. Pluto. So what is that? It is a power grab over here, warlike pride, and some kind of dynastic collapse as well. So it is because of pride, because of its fixed sign, it's going to create downfall. That is the ancient masculine dominance, and it will be challenged right now. And let's talk about Pandora. Pandora is actually, it's in 3 degrees right now in Leo, and the bringer of curiosity and chaos. Why? If you know the mythology about Pandora, by the way, guys, the best way to learn mythology, there is on YouTube, there is actually a whole entire documentary about mythology, and I'm watching that. It is Egyptian, it is Roman and Greek mythology. I always watch that when the boys were little, they really was into mythology, and it is giving you a lot of knowledge. It's beautiful, it's amazing, and it's not only from one perspective, because, for example, Algol, right, over there, the Medusa, uh, she was in one mythological content. She was seducer, and that's why she got raped. And she was actually forbidden to go back to the Athena's temple. And the other one, she was actually was very innocent, never flirted. There is two different side of Algol in mythology as well, but you can see all the different side of the asteroid and mythology behind. So, okay, Pandora is the Pandora box, right? And it is, when you open it, you don't know what's in it. Is it gold over there, or is it like the monsters, the shadow, the war is coming out from that? So, it is actually representing something will be open but should not be open during this time. And it is with Mars, impulsive actions that unleash collective consequences. And in Leo, what is that? Anything to do with artistic ego, anything to do with fame, anything to do with, flamboyancies, that's going to actually create some kind of chaos around us. And then also there is asteroid karma, and it's also in Leo. It's in 7 degrees, but it's still with asteroids and fixed stars, we are giving actually a tighter orb, 2 degrees, 2.5 degrees, 1 degree. But I go up usually up to 3, 4 degrees because it still has a lot of influence over here, guys. And for example, karma is in almost 7 degrees, and asteroid karma, it is the 3811, so 3811, and that is the past life consequences. So Mars going to activate asteroid karma, and in Leo, it's going to be someone, a leader who misused the power, and karma is coming for him. Most likely it's a him, right? And let's talk about Taurus over here, the asteroids in Taurus, right? Because that is a fixed sign, also an Earth fixed sign, Taurus, and because of the Sun is transiting, traveling in Taurus, right, and creating this T square, which is a lot of challenge. It is actually chaos and rebellion. Issues as well. We have to talk about Isis and Fama over here. And first of all, guys, I have to tell you, Isis is something to do with, for example, sacred union and resurrection. Okay, so it is absolutely not connected to ISIS. However, because it's written the same way, and Mars and Pluto opposition is also a terror attack, I do accept within 6 weeks some kind of terror attack with ISIS, also, which is going to be in the news. Okay, but really, Isis is a beautiful Egyptian goddess. It's very sacred. It is the earthy feminine wisdom, right? Which is healing body, especially in Taurus, right? The mystical woman rise and the corrupted system falls. So, it could be also like there will be something with all right, it should be a female leader somewhere, and when the corrupt leader going to fall, a mystical woman who is not corrupted going to rise in some country, you know, after that corrupt leader. So let's see. And the Fama is very typical fame and reputation and being known. So it's very Leonian in favor. But right now, she travels with Isis in Taurus, and it's actually embodying something with the sacred truth and earthy power, right? Also, you will see a lot of protesters to protest against climate change and how we can actually recycle or try to go against deforestation and brainless building and using the resources of Gaia and just killing, because Gaia, the Mother Earth, and we just had the Earth Day yesterday, it is a living being, and we forget about that. Like we just came here to be a visitors, and we all gonna leave, but we abuse Mother Earth so badly. So what you can do, because I still consider end of April April to Earth Day, and even May, beginning with May, you can feed the, I always feed actually the birds around us, and I always feed the honeybees. I always put out, for example, water for them, and also a little bit of sugar water. All right, so what is the other asteroids in Taurus? All right, so actually it's uh, Lysithea, and it is the asteroid 1108, so 1108. So Jupiter's moon, and it's tied to rebellion against Zeus, right? It's a feminine revolt. So you're going to see a lot of women on street against some kind of law, which is actually trying to censor the rights of maybe voting of women, or just to have the same salary as a man. So we will be on the street, or maybe because of abortion or female rights, something like that, but it's going to happen as well. And we also have two other asteroids in Scorpio, guys, and that is one of them Hekate. And Hekate is witchcraft, is the asteroid 100, and also it's mystery and crossroads as well, where you have to actually check the turning point. Do you want to return, or do you want to continue into the dark? And Hecate is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is dark. It's the underworld. But Hecate over here, the dark feminine returns, demands justice. She will demand justice. All right, and then people are in crossroads, but also I do have to tell something else about this grand cross, because of these two asteroids going to create a grand cross in the sky when Pluto and Mars are so opposing. And the other one is actually Haumea, which is the Hawaiian goddess of creation. It is the one who gave birth to volcano, right? And it is regeneration through chaos, through burning everything, ashes through ashes. This is the typical, we are coming and rebuild, and that is Phoenix, like reborn from ashes, the creative feminine destruction over here. This is not a collapse, actually, it's a sacred compost over here, because you understand wherever ashes are, the soil is fertile and filled with minerals, for example. So it is a sacred compost. A lot of new things is coming out from after Haumea, going to have to burn everything down. And you will see a lot of women rising right now. All right, and what is the T-square over here? The T-square actually it's not only T-square, the Sun and Pluto and Mars opposition create a T-square with the Sun, right? So it's cracking the ego, cracking fame and false stability. The world leaders going to fall, public figures going to be exposed, and people who have fake Instagram posts, those kind of influencers who are, like built up their followers on false news, for example. But definitely, it's a personal crisis for those who resist emotional growth, guys. So it is just uh, very important to understand. And the Grand Cross, because of we also have the two fixed star, not fixed star, two asteroid in Scorpio, which is Haumea, and Hecate over there, which is creating a Grand Cross in the heavens, and it is going to be something to do with for example, just a second. Something for better for legacy. So, for example, if there was some kind of secrecy, behind the curtain, it's going to come out and it's gonna crumble, right? Because of we do have a lot of feminine wisdom right now, and the collective going to be shaken, and it's gonna be shaken economically, politically, and spiritually. And we were talking about the tariffs before in one of my videos, and I explained you guys, like before we even talk about tariffs, check the population of the country and also the area, how big is the country, and after talk about how much did they buy from us and we exported, imported. So very, very important, okay? Okay, so let's see what it is collectively for us. A royal family scandal could come up and something literally going to collapse. Saturn is overthrown by Jupiter, as I said, because the same time they are squaring in heaven, right? All right. So anything, because Mars is in Leo, it is aggressive masculine pride. It is something to do with royal bloodlines, kingship, or political bloodline, right? And Pluto in Aquarius, that is the systemic breakdown. It is exposure actually for the hidden, because Pluto is the underworld, the hidden. And in Aquarius, the people going to know about that, probably we will see something coming up either from a tech genius or some kind of more issues coming out in surface, like they're going to share war plans and things, or social media accidentally, or hackers could get in again. And we also have the asteroid karma and Sethos over here, which is pharaonic legacy over here, anything to do with reputation. If you saw that Mr. Went to Mr. B, I think, went to the pyramids, and he did something stupid, jumping in some kind of sacred place and opened up a tunnel or whatever, but that's representing those kind of influencers could actually get into trouble, and they can lose their reputation forever, so falling from their kingdom as well. But anything to do with pharaonic legacy, we can see something over there coming out from the past, and we will understand history. So, for example, in this, recent political and geopolitical situation, we can actually have something to do with the UK, Saudi Arabia, right? Anything to do with dynasties, Chinese dynasties as well, which could actually get some kind of exposure to dark historical truth, some kind of abuse cover up or financial manipulation as well. And anything, a public figure, for example, a celebrity, a spiritual leader, a chosen one, whoever think they are chosen one, going to be dishonored in the public eye. So definitely the karma asteroid over here, the past karma going to be tied to ancestral control and bloodline secrets, and then it's going to bring in some kind of fall of the dynasty, and it's gonna be major scandals right now. And there is also a major corruption. A global figure loses status in publicity as well, because Sun is in Taurus, which is wealth, stability, land ownership. Also, I would think banking as well, but that Scorpio ruled. But because of the grand crossover here with Hekate and Haumea over here, it is going to burn down as everything. And Pluto in Aquarius, it is someone who knows technology, or power shift through technology, hacking, and we have over here Fama, Karma, Pandora, and they are in Leo. So anything to do with reputation, we open up the Pandora book, everything is coming out, and it is because of the irresistible curiosity, Pandora, right? And it's going to explode something very, very dark. So, for example, it could be something to do with the tech moguls or the billionaires. The CEO of tech moguls and billionaires, for example, Elon or Zuckerberg or Gates or Bezos type, they are going to have something to unravel about them, or they're going to actually do some kind of revengeful act, and they're going to unreveal something about other people who are leaders perhaps around the world, and multiple leaders, and they're going to create some kind of collapse of their leadership. So companies like Apple, Meta, Amazon, Tesla, they're going to actually face some kind of crash through boycotting and boycotting them, something because of unethical practices. And As you understand, today I was watching the news. I didn't really want it to because I was very upset. I lost one of my friend again and through cancer, and I didn't sleep. And but I watched the news anyway, and then obviously I just watched the guy Owen. I think his name is Owen from Britain, and he's really uh, uh, for democracy and talking out about Middle East. And right now he showed how Meta actually is willing to actually taking off people and actually censor people on Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere on Instagram who actually either shows a little bit of compassion for Palestine, guys. So I'm wondering why my channel doesn't grow, because I have a lot of good information, I think, and it's not vanity. I just think I do, and I see people out there, and talking about sometimes just like relationship and cuckoo things, and they have a lot of followers, and I was like, oh my God, I'm giving my heart and sweating blood over here, and why? But maybe because of the algorithm, because I am a person who never going to shut up. Mm. So maybe because of that. But all right, so the digital pharaohs, because we are talking about pharaohs, we are talking about Sethos over here, and because it's creating actually a grand cross with other asteroids, so digital pharaohs, people who are the tech moguls, and rule silently behind the scene, they're going to actually suffer from boycotting their platforms. So new platforms coming up, perhaps platforms that woman rules, and whatever fame gained through dishonesty, it's going to be collapses. Do you know? I have my favorite. Guys, I'm a reggae. Like I'm obsessed with reggae music, and we are going. And that's one of my birthday present. Every time George always buys me, um, tickets for the reggae festival in St. Petersburg, which is free for days. And one of our favorites is Coffee. It's a young artist from the West Indies, and she was the one who was singing, the louder they roar, the harder they fall. So that is one of my quote for you over here. So definitely it's going to be a lot of spiritual movement and female lead spiritual movement, because they want to censor us. Saturn, North Node, compassionate, Saturn is censorship, and North Node in Pisces is compassionate. They want to censor compassionate people, for example. Um, but also because Isis is in Taurus, it's going to resurrect the divine feminine truth. And it is also really weird. The Pope did the last sermons on Easter, right? And besides, he was really sick. But of course, he will do that. I mean, he was already 88. What do you want to live in suffering? No, you have to do what you had to do. And he did his last sermons, and then he went, and passed. But it is actually the resurrection also on Easter of Jesus Christ. So there is some kind of Christ symbol over here. And also because of Aquarius ruled by Uranus and Saturn traveling in Pisces, which is a Christ symbol over here, which is a resurrection. But in this case, because we are talking about Isis, the divine feminine, it's going to resurrect actually the feminine truth over here. And Hekate and Haumea also in Scorpio, it's the feminine rage. But it is going to rebirth forces in us. So don't underestimate the feminine rage over here. We are the one who are giving birth to all, and and we are strong. And there will be a lot of very, very strong female leaders coming through. And also, Pandora, definitely, if we open the box over there, we never can close it again. We never can unseen, but we will see. And that's going to open up sun even dogmatic eyes, people who has dogmas or following, right side, left side, like without questioning anything, it's gonna open their eyes, hopefully. Uh, so a rise of goddess, right? And also ancestral healing over here, and the noise of the woman and the woman lead rebellions, and they want justice. And also we're going to have, because of they want to go against the spiritual or wellness leadership, so they're going to actually try to censor spiritual and wellness leaders as well, somehow, just maybe on social media, shut us up somehow. Uh, but I wouldn't actually, because women can get weaponized right now. So if you heard about India, they have actually a whole entire woman army because against rape or things like that. Or it could be something to do with indigenous women. Like coming to their power, and actually they want justice, because you know how many of them actually get missing, raped in Nevada and Utah and in the desert over there in America. So they are awakening right now, and they're going to get into, and they're going to demand respect and answer and justice for injustice over here. And I am with them. But also it could be something because of the sun is in Taurus, and Taurus is earth and Gaia, something to do with the food system and nature's wealth as well. For example, it could be also like some kind of leadership could deny food, or like help for the starving as well, but it's going to create some kind of rebellion movement or protest. And then also, we also have to understand the earth will deny something from us. So um, it could be something to do with, all right, so my soy was fertile, says Mother Earth over here, but you abused me, and I'm going to bring in some kind of Plutonian energy, some kind of volcanic activity, and I'm gonna destroy everything on the farmland, and it's going to take a while before it's going to be fertile again, because the ash is fertile, it has a lot of mineral, as I said, but it's gonna take a while. Why you going to be farm again over there? So it could be something to do with that, some kind of Plutonian activity, and some kind of huge volcanic eruption right now, as well. For example, it could be also weather related, so something coming out from the ocean. I kept saying that for you guys, something, an earth going to come out, or it could be also some kind of sacred place going to be visible in the ocean, and there could be some kind of gold or Pandora box over there what we're going to find, and that's going to rewrite history, right? Because of we didn't know that kind of technology existed, like in the golden age back then. So yeah, the earth itself going to speak loudly, and we're going to mass kneel from the power of the earth over here, because when it's a natural disaster, guys, and I live in an area, I live in South Florida, obviously we had a lot of hurricane, we lived through a lot of hurricane, and you will see compassion in people, everybody helps everyone, so somehow disaster also helps in something very very tragic, it's bringing people together. And yeah, so it could actually also create something with the petroleum regime going to fall, for example, because of climate change denier, and because of the public trust going to evaporate, they're not going to trust them anymore because they see something, and there is, written truth and a statistic about it, and we're gonna see it clearly, and then it's like, all right, that's it. We're not trusting you anymore. We're doing actually the way we're supposed to help each others and actually conserve the resources of Mother Earth. Yes, but also digital identity could actually crumble as well. Something under pressure right now. So anything in the history, we will know more about history and the truth about history, because a lot of them it's lie, but we will learn, right? Mm. Mars and Pandora in Leo, it's glamorous a weapon. You know, a lot of people who are famous going to come up right now and talk for human rights or compassion, things like that as well. And Fama and Karma in Leo, you know, it's going to expose those who rose falsely. So we're going to know the Pluto in Aquarius, the collective truth, and we're going to actually see historical justice as well. With what? With digital revolution. But obviously, Pluto and Mars opposition could also create some kind of hackers, and we have to talk about that because of anything to do. You know, we were talking about the fake influencers over there, which because it's going to create mass distrust in media, because finally they're going to say, oh my god, that the truth was not even the content of that media wasn't you know, based on truth. So and it's going to cancel cultures, and they're going to be replaced with something which is really you know, something with actual karmic correction, because asteroid karma is over there and it's not faked. It's vulnerable, but it's authentic, and it actually has spiritual language as well, and it's not going to be glamorized anymore. All right, the trauma not gonna be glamorized. You know, it's going to be like you have to leave it. That was something karmic. You showed actually some kind of fake vulnerability, and actually, I think it is the case with. Its end with us. Blake actually went to court to sue the partner in the movie, and said there was some kind of sexual harassment. But when you are looking into this case, then you see like there is a lot of force, you know, like uh, false blaming, for example. So I think she's going to fall uh, from power. All right, and then you know, the Grand Cross itself and the T square, it's definitely destruction, because the people going to fall from thrones. And you know, also Pluto in Aquarius. So Aquarius ruled by Uranus. Uranus is airplanes, and it's opposing Mars. So it's military aircraft, right? Or high profile aircraft, for example, who are transferring, for example, Leo kind of people, so leaders, right? And it could be crashing, for example. So we're going to see more airplane tragedy right now. And by the way, we're going to see cyber attacks and hacking as well. And because of uh, Aquarius ruled by Saturn also, and Saturn is in Pisces, it could actually totally sell or medical data, guys. It could, and it could be like you will see insurance companies going to be under pressure. They're going to crack the system, and social security could be, you know, I'm talking about the US over here, but it is all over in the world, you know, because maybe the you know, like someone else could buy the medical data of a rich prince from somewhere, a medical data of Americans or Czech or Hungarians, whatever, because everything is computerized right now. So definitely that could be there. And because of karma, definitely something to do with Russia, China, UK, US, you know, Canada, anything. It is historical cover-ups going to be you know, like come out. The secrets will be showed. And on the other hand, Uranus also not just airplane, but also nuclear energies, guys, and Mars is weapon. So, you know, they're going to be something to do with nuclear threat as well. And obviously, so I didn't talk about that last time because I was like, okay, that was too much when I was talking about the tariffs. But for example, Trump says, okay, Iran has to get rid of the nuclear plantation. And Iran says they don't have anything, but actually they have a lot of lithium and it can actually activate 8 nuclear bomb. But on the other hand, I was thinking, I hate anything with nuclear bombs and power or whatever, but how dare actually America say to Iran, you cannot have something, and they already have it? And then I was reading forward and getting into history, and then I was reading about the pressure from Israel to the American government, right? Like they saying, okay, we have to fight with Iran and they have to get rid of the nuclear bomb. And then there is Israel over there who actually, it says, and it was so funny when I was reading, you don't know if they have or if they don't have nuclear bombs. Obviously, we know their technology, it's amazing, and obviously they do have it. But, it's unclarified, it says, in the when I was doing my research. So, okay, so there could be some kind of nuclear threat and some kind of karmic Cold War as well. And something, which is going to echo Fukushima or Chernobyl. I remember Chernobyl. I was very, very scared. And or something to do with radioactive waste as well. We will learn about that, because of the sun is in Taurus and something is coming up like some kind of big monopoly, something with big firms or companies letting some kind of radioactive waste in the Hudson, or doesn't have to be, but some river, and it is actually giving a lot of issues with cancer. By the way, since 5G also, we have a lot of cancer, and I would like to actually welcome you to use a lot of Schunkeit, guys, around the house. When right now I ordered like 10 more pounds of Schunkeit. My husband thinks I'm crazy because I'm always ordering the salt also in 10 pounds, and he's like, are you sure you need that much, rock salt over here? Because I always have to cleanse myself from readings and from negative energy. But I bought a lot of Schunkeit because of the children using the cell phones, computer. They have to study all the time. I'm on the computer all the time. And buy the grounding mat if you can afford it, guys, because I have a grounding shoes also, but I'm on barefoot usually. I'm like a gypsy soul, you know that about me, and I have a sailor mouth. I curse. I try to be beautifully polished for you, but yeah, sometimes it feels good just to do some cursing. I don't know, it's just liberate my spirit. But yeah, so just buy that because of we're talking about Uranus over here, and the exposure to 5G, it's creating a lot of brain tumor, for example. All right, so that's very important. All right, and then the terrorism, obviously, I have to say that again, asteroid Isis is represents sacred feminine healing, guys, and not the terrorist group, but because it's written the same way, and because of Pluto and Mars opposition, it is terror attacked many times. It could be something to do with ISIS attack somehow, somewhere. All right. Um, yes, and it could be also something because of Mars burning and flame. So it could be, and Leo is art, something what was iconic, anything to do with an art, it's going to maybe get burned because of maybe because of a volcanic eruption or some kind of fire or some kind of protest, somebody protesting and burning some authentic, beautiful art somehow. So it could be also, one of the outcome of that. I hope not, because I really love art and history, and I just don't understand. If you protest, don't hijack the protest. I was always up for protesting, but when they hijack the purpose of the protest, I'm so mad, because why do you have to burn cars and, destroy the streets and everything? I don't know. I'm never gonna understand that. But also, it's going to be some kind of major scandals with the AIs and VRs. For example, because of we going to understand how does it affect, for example, children's behavior, suicide rates, and unfortunately, as I said to you guys, if you read my writing yesterday, I lost again a friend, and I'm very, very devastated over. Since Pluto went to my third house, it's like, oh my God, it just created immediately a lot of loss for me with my community, neighborhood, anything to do with friends, childhood friends, PTA mothers. We've been to PTA so many times, and my friend, my children's, classmates, airplane accidents. It is just like, what the heck is happening? It's devastating. But also, one of the little girl who was traveling for 2 years with Jombor, my younger one, on the bus, she committed suicide 7 weeks ago, and at 14 years old. And I often think, oh my God, this is the social media. This is actually the aftermath of AR, VR on the phone. The children are on the phone, and they are manipulated somehow, and it's creating mental illnesses, and their judgment is not. Thinking is not critical. They don't have right judgment, and they are throwing away their life, and it's terrible. It's terrible. So try to actually protect your children against social media somehow. I'm fighting with it every day, but we have to keep fighting. And also, because of, I was thinking of some kind of hidden contracts as well, and some kind of justice over here because of Pluto is going up something what is hidden, and in Aquarius, we're going to know about that because Aquarius is the human race, right? So anything to do with Princess Diana's death, it was hidden. We don't know everything about that. And also GFK, they actually released the documents, but obviously they're not talking about that right now. It's seized. It's like uh, we already know it was not that Palestine guy who actually killed RFK's father, but anyway, it's going to be more about their scandals. The truth is coming out from here. So I'm pretty happy about that because it doesn't matter how the truth going to hurt, but I want to know the truth because at least I know who is my enemy. At least I know who I'm facing with. So then I can get prepared, and that's what you should as well. All right, guys, we're going to talk about a little bit for each individual signs over here, and we're going to start with Aries Rising. But before that, you know the drill over here. Uh, the sun is everything to do with your career vitality, father figure, right? And the path that you are choosing right now, and the moon is your subconscious, your fears, your emotions, your family situation, living situation, the way you are mothering and the way you've been mothered, and your mother figure, and your rising sign. If you are lucky to know your rising sign, you know when you were born. A lot of people doesn't, what time, then that is all everything about you right now, the way you are represent yourself, the way you represent your company, the way you pretend, the way you interact with others. That is your body itself. So Aries rising sun and moon, Mars is going to be in your fifth house, love, children, creativity, lottery, and Pluto in your 11th house, which is community, network, dreams, and the sun is in your second house, which is self-worth, money, and possession. So for example, you fall for someone in your creative cycle and creative circle, and it could become a power struggle, right? Because you have to mask your romance, and you will need to walk away if you want to save your soul. And also it could be something to do with a child, a creative project going to become center of the community and center, of, you're going to spend more time with your children, and maybe you're going to be forced to pick sides, for example, between your children's art or something like that. But you're also going to be offered to funding some kind of art project, maybe for the school of your child, because of, as you know, the governments are taking away foundation for creativity. They don't want you to think creatively, and don't want you to have imagination. So you might going to do that and decide, like, okay, I'm going to support art over here. Taurus rising, Sun and Moon. Mars is in the fourth house, home, family, roots. Pluto in your 10th house, career, authority, public image. And Sun is in the first house, which is identity, body, and ego. But could happen for you, your whole entire identity going to be questioned, and you're going to put actually boundaries, because family could crosses your boundaries with your publicity as well, and it could give you some kind of anger and bring you some kind of anger, and also you moving away from some kind of family tradition, or breaking some kind of even family loyalty over here, because of they wanted you to be working for the firm. Everybody was an attorney or doctors, and you want to be an artist, and you're not going to bend right now, or nearly right now. But also it could bring in a major aesthetic shift. It could bring in some kind of plastic surgery. You decide on one plastic surgery, as well. So it could bring multiple options for you. Gemini rising, Sun and Moon, it's going to happen in your third house, communication, sibling, and technology. Pluto is in your ninth house, beliefs, publishing, international matters, Sun in the 12th, hidden self, isolation, and spiritual world. And what's going to happen for you, your belief system, what you inherited from family, it's going to change, right? It could also like some kind of fight with neighbors and sibling, and maybe it's going to be something about because of like maybe you are drunk in front of your community, and they don't want to see you, for example, intoxicated in front of their children. And also it could bring some kind of writing, but you write about some trauma or war or sexual trafficking or something like that, and you actually make them hear your voice, and you expose the truth about something in the past. And it could also bring in a foreign travel as well. Um, but you can meet someone who is, for example, helping with your book, or actually you are doing some kind of researches, but you have to do that somehow in secret, because if it could be against some kind of authority figure. Mm. Cancer rising, Sun and Moon, Mars is going to be in your second house, Pluto is in your eighth house, Sun is in your 11th house. Second house, money and value, self-worth. Eight houses, sex, death, rebirth, debts, pregnancy on a way like this is a miscarriage or abortion or C-section, and the 11th house is your networks, your vision, your future, money from your career. So, a friend could offer you financial opportunity that becomes actually a psychological trap for you, because it's going to be hard for you to pull away from the person. And you can also inherit money, but it's going to tie to some kind of old betrayal. If you want the money, you have to come back to the firm, for example, with the family. But also you can actually cleanse your karma right now if you're going to help with some kind of humanitarian work, and you are giving away something what was important for you, or just you are cleaning out your closets and you're giving it to the poor. uh, and it could be also you are going to cut some kind of sexual ties, or some kind of ties suddenly, with someone who is not going to go exclusive with you. So, you don't want to have that kind of string anymore. You don't want to be intimate with the person. Leo rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your first house. What is your path, your body, the mask what you wear, Pluto in your seventh, which is partners, contracts, and enemies, open enemies, and Sun in the 10th house in career, status, legacy. For my older son, he is Leo rising, Leo moon, and he's a Taurus sun. So he's very fixed and a very, very pride boy. And sometimes I tell him, please kneel before you're going to break. Because your pride is not going to take you anywhere, but definitely there could be something over here which is you guys need to confront some kind of manipulative enemy over here. Anything could erupt actually on social media or on court system, for example, and your public image could get a little bit of scourge right now. But anyway, you're going to have to set yourself free and get away from some kind of contract what doesn't serve you anymore, or friendship. It could be you are offered a big contract, or partner up with someone, but the partner is power hungry and you need to back out. And by the way, you're going to end up creating something even bigger in solo. So just go with it. And also, it could bring in some kind of hostile breakup and dramatic breakup in social media, in public breakup for you guys. Virgo rising sun and moon, it's happening. Mars is in your 12th house, hidden enemies, self-sabotage, right? And Pluto is actually in the 6th house, health, work, service, sun in the 9th house, belief, teaching, and truth. It could actually, you can discover a toxic work dynamic. A boss or coworker has been undermining you quietly, and it leaks during, this opposition, for example. You can also go to a retreat, and you can end up something with martyrhood, or maybe even with addiction. Right now you're going to fight against your addiction and trying to get healed, but it's going to be difficult, because detoxification, if you're alcoholic, could bring in delirium, and it could actually be very, very heavy and hard on your body. Detoxification, yes. And then it could also bring in some kind of health scares as well. For example, you're going to go to the doctor and they're going to find something very acute and very, very quickly manifesting illness over there. But you know what? I recommend you actually to go back to the doctor again after 7 days of the Mars Pluto opposition, because of the result might be different. So it could be actually just a thyroid storm or sugar storm, and later on it's just going to disappear. Libra rising sun and moon is going to happen in your 11th house, which is friends, public influences, and Pluto in the 5th house, which is romance, anything to do, taking risk in investment, children, creativity, joy. Sun is in the 8th house, which is actually power, depth, emotional intimacy as well, and a very not emotional intimacy. It's more like like very sexual chemistry, for example, but surgeries as well, and anything to do with the occults as well. So you can fall in love with someone who is in your friend circle, and uh, it could be also some kind of jealousy coming in, or if you are an artist, some kind of artistic rivalry can come in as well. And if you have any kind of creative work, maybe somebody copied it and want to steal it or already stolen it. And, you expose actually for the public, it was yours, and you can go to court, for example. There could be also something with secret abortion, pregnancy, fertility crisis as well. But it is a private breaking point in this, and it could be liberalizing for you, something like you in your state or country, maybe abortion is not available and you have to travel for that. Scorpio rising sun and moon. Mars is going to be in your 10th house of career. Pluto is in your 4th house, roots, family, ancestral karma. Sun is in the 7th house, relationship, projection, anything to do with enemies, right? Because 7th house is the mirror for you right now. And you find out your family has been hiding information, anything to do with will or documents, and it's going to change everything for you. Even trust going to evaporate right now. And the business partner also could be, eclipse you, for example, and your honor, or store something for you. So be careful over here. Be very strategic. Be the Queen Gambit over here. Even if you sign contract with business partner, never take off your eyes. What are they doing with you or against you, or when they are not with you. And it could be also an issue confront with a father figure over here, or not necessarily father, but something to do with historical, ancestral, family related generational pattern, right? And you're going to end the rage, and you're going to end it with grace. Sagittarius rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in or 9th house Mars, and which is travel or the sibling philosophy and high education, visa as well, and foreign matters. And Pluto in the 3rd house is speech, thoughts, and media. And then Sun in the 6th house, daily habits, work, body, and also it's your pet. So, because I'm a Sagittarius rising, I am really scared for Cosmo because of Uranus also seizures. And Cosmo actually had seizures before, but I actually healed him, and he's totally seizure free for 2 years. So, if you guys have pets, and because of they were exposed to some kind of injection, Mars's injection, right? Which could, and it's opposing Pluto, which could indicate some kind of change, genetic change, DNA change also in the body somehow, and create seizures and tremors. Just reach out for me. I can give you my protocol. But yes, so it could actually bring some kind of issue in rental properties, for example, something to do with something which is quick. It's a fire. It's some kind of issue with technology and wire in the house in a rental property as well. And also it could be something to do with toxic environment with coworkers, or between landlord and you, or between your tenant and you. Uh, so that could be that. And also it could be some kind of issue also if you are teaching, or if you are present on social media. 9th house actually is YouTube channel, and you can get trolled. So because I'm a Sagittarius rising, and I do talk about the Middle East peace a lot, which I'm really compassionate about. Actually, I'm compassionate about every single human and any kind of life, because I'm a Buddhist, and I'm also compassionate about the earth as well. So I might going to get trolled again. Who knows? Because people are so nasty sometimes. All right. So that's what I expect for myself over here. But uh, anyway, you have to speak your truth, and you have to speak even when your voice are shaken. So, but it could also bring in some kind of migraines, guys, because of Pluto in the 3rd house. That's also your thoughts, and it could be very deep thoughts, or a lot of searching for knowledge or researching, and obviously that could bring in some kind of headaches issues. Capricorn rising sun and moon, Wait a second. Mars is in your eighth house, power, intimacy, and control. Pluto in the second house, which is self-worth, material issues, and earnings, and gift, what you didn't know about, Sun is in the fifth house, joy, sexuality, creative risk over there. So, for example, you are open actually. Up sexually, for example, to date again, but somehow it's backfires, right? Because you're sharing too much about yourself, and then the person is not going to want to reach out again. It's a one night stand, and you feel abandoned over there. Uh, so, and then you also can have something like somebody is trying to manipulate you with, for example, money, right? Because eighth house and fifth house and second house is over here involved. So they want you to give you advice how to put money in stock market and where to put it, and give me your money, I'm going to invest in, and they can be the one who betrays you and actually steal your money. So careful over here. But also you are capable to reclaim your joy after betrayal. And it is not just a healing, it is going to be a major rebirth, like Phoenix, but with glitters. Aquarius rising sun and moon. It's going to happen in your seventh house Mars, which is opponents, marriage, and others. And Pluto is in the first house, which is your path, your soul, you. And sun in the fourth house, home roots, anything to do with inner safety. So, you can rebuild your home. You are capable to move right now. Maybe you must move because of some kind of devastating news, maybe some kind of natural disasters as well. It could bring also in, Pluto could be mold and fungi as well. So it could bring inside, okay, I have some kind of black mold in the house, and we need to do something and move until we fix this. But it is almost like so sudden. You move out middle of the night, literally or symbolically, and uh, because somehow you are under manipulation and your soul cannot longer shrink for others, right? Because of over here, the seventh house is other or marriage partner, and you will see, like, okay, I don't want to live in this narcissistic relationship, for example, some of you. Uh, and then, oh, I forget which one we had. Pisces. Oh, yes, that is the last one, the Pisces rising sun and moon, which is going to happen actually. Mars is in the sixth house, health, routine, service, landlord, co-workers, and your pets. And Pluto is in the 12th house, subconscious, your karma, eternal womb, anything to do with underprivileged over here, addictions, rise, hospice, hospital. Sun is in the third house, which is communication, and anything to do with writing, teaching, and also your vehicle as well. So I would want you to check your vehicle. For example, the speeding, Mars is speeding. So check something electrical in your vehicle, and also something with the gas pedal as well. So it could be also, because 12th house is Pluto over here, so you have to demand sacred boundaries to rest, and you can go actually for retreat or addiction center to actually get healed from some kind of addiction. And you're also going to have some kind of intuitive gift, and it could be sudden, something through dreams, or you go to hypnotherapy and something is coming up, some kind of shadow which you need to see eye to eye in, and work with that shadow. But also it could be, you can cut ties with healers, someone who you thought, they are there for you, a guru, a supporter, a mentor, and they are false. They are falling from grace because they were false. So that could happen with you, Pisces. You are very trusty anyway, and you could be manipulated easily. So it could happen for you. All right, guys. So, what is actually what you need to do during this Mars and Pluto opposition? Because it's going to be heavy on the soul, right? Anything to do with public image, anything to do with social media titles, the queen bee dynamic over here. We need to release the pride and the illusion control as well. And also, you remember when I said you have to burn the mask and the performance. Um, so, for example, what you want to do over here, you can actually do some kind of rituals. You have a crown, buy a crown in dollar store or whatever, and it has to be symbolic item, but buy something which is yellow gold, right? And have the mirror, and put the crown on, but use black salt or ashes all the time because we have to use Plutonian energy over here, and always a bowl of water. And I always put actually rosemary, rose, and frankincense oil when I do my rituals. And I put the crown before on in the mirror, and then, okay, I don't need that kind of pride. And I burn the crown, and I put actually the ashes of the crown into the water. And then I'm going to go outside and actually dig a hole and actually cover with earth, because sun is in Taurus, which is Mother Earth, right? So because you want to actually do your authentic yourself and create your authentic yourself and connect with your soul tribe. It's your wise tribe. It's very, very important, right? Return actually to the real and reclaim to your real raw voice over here. So that's why this is symbolically going to say, okay, I don't want to get recognition. Ego wants to have recognition. I want to talk from my heart, and I want to attract my soul tribe. And that's how actually your soul going to rise, right? And yeah, so you can do multiple rituals over here, but usually during this time I have black candles because I don't want and black obsidian in the center, black salt, because listen, Karma and Hekate also actually involved in this Grand Cross, and it is going to protect you against betrayal. And usually I carry a little bit of black salt in my pocket every single day before I go out. To connect with anyone whatsoever, you know. So it is like the salt itself, it's very symbolic, but also the most the really, really old ancestral healing and cleansing method as well. All right, guys. And then, that's only I wanted to actually talk about. But um, if you really liked my channel and you would like to subscribe, I would really appreciate that. And guys, as I said, share my videos, please, on Reddit or any kind of astrology groups as well. And I would really appreciate that. I always can give you some kind of written, like gift, because I write a lot, and anything to do with, maybe if you are interested in finances or stocks, I write it every single month to Fama, and I can give you gifts. And if you are helping me actually to bring in more subscribers, thank you so much. And my regulars who are always there for me, Stephanie here, Tomeska, and also Maria, I see you guys. And Sadia, I see you all. I cannot say all the name from head right now, but I really appreciate Jojo, all of you. And thank you so much to telling me what's happening with you, because I can answer you. And, it's creating really a great community. All right, guys, please don't keep your head in the sand, and hold each other's hands, and let's help each other and create a better tomorrow. I believe in a better tomorrow. Bye for now.